All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for Wednesday, the 6th of January, 2021. We've got the moon in the middle degrees of Libra creating a square to the sun in the middle degrees of Capricorn today. All right, we have the perfect Neptune square to the nodes happening today. We also have Mercury in Capricorn creating a sextile to Neptune today. Okay? So, this, let me just show you the chart here and we'll get right into it. All right. So this is something we've been talking about for a while. Okay. Choosing the past and the beliefs of others. Now, this is really important how we're going to talk about this today and break this down. Or seeking truth, seeking your own truth, your own personal truth. Okay. As well, Mars at the 29th degree. Okay, this is understanding our own boundaries, understanding our own limitations, as well as wanting to do our thing, Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. We all have limitations. I'm, a 6'4" dude. I can't, fitting me into a small space isn't going to happen. Me reaching the top shelf, very feasible. You know what I mean? So it's just like understanding our own limitations and the areas where we excel and the areas where we simply, there's just acceptance to it, acceptance. I'm a tall, thin person, I'm never going to be a, just big muscle bound like MMA guy. It's just not meant for me. That, it's like coming to an acceptance of my own limitations, whether it's body, physical, mind, appetite, for whatever it may be. Okay. This is not really what I want to focus on today, because the squares are the biggest aspects of this day. Okay. Not only Neptune squaring the nodes, because we have to make honest and critical decisions here in our lives of the direction that we're going into. And we are leaving we're leaving things in the past that just no longer fit into the new world that we're creating, this new Saturnian Aquarian world. Okay. Now, the big thing I want to talk about is the sun square the moon. Okay, Libra is all about balance, okay? And the sun, of course, this is embodiment of our physical being, our soul, our ego, okay? And at 16 degrees, one of these aspects, we're going to talk about religion for a moment, okay? Sorry, it is what it is. It's everything ties in together. The church, and almost, let's look at Christianity or Catholicism, has put such a strong separation of the soul and the body, that it's, you give your soul to God, but your body, you can't, if you're a nun or you're a part of the Catholic priests, it's like you can't enjoy the physical delights of earthly pleasures in this body. To me, it's one of the strangest. My Mars Aquarius self doesn't understand that, because to me, it's just like puzzle pieces. This and this is like a seatbelt. These two pieces fit together, and this creator has created this for us to do this. And now we have created a religion. Okay, this is the beauty of the South Node in the religious and philosophical, releasing and letting go sign of Sagittarius. Okay, because, one, we have one masculine God where there's no femininity at all. This is wrong. I'm sorry. There's that's where in life does the man create life, and that's it. Where woman's not involved. Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist except for in the religious books. Why? And, I don't have an answer for that. But that's not the world that we're creating. That's not the world that we live in. It's not where we're going. And sometimes I'm skeptical to bring some of this stuff up, because I want to share positivity and love and light to people. And I know, like, we hold on to that religion like that single bar. But it's just like we have to free, that is ultimately my job. I don't, if I lose friends on here because I'm speaking my truth, the truth, this North Node in Gemini, so be it. Thank you. But this is, it's just like, okay, we have to come to an awareness of certain aspects in our lives that do not make sense and no longer fit the bill. And the same with this aspects of and use these to whatever way you can. This is just the analogy I'm using today, and using, religion as this, because this is a huge one, where religion says, no, you are giving yourself to God, and you cannot enjoy the earthly delights and the pleasures of being a man or being a woman and enjoying that physical aspect and connecting with another human being. It is so, we are denying ourselves of natural things in life. And because of this ridiculous ideologies that other people have created, we are now living and suppressing very real aspects of our lives. Now, look at this. We have set the 7 major chakras, right? Only 2 of our chakras release energy: our sexual chakra, our sacral chakra, and our throat chakra, our voice. And where one is out of balance, orange-blue, right? This is balance, contrast. Where one is out of balance, it will come out inappropriately through the other chakra, okay? Where we can't communicate here, it will come out in sexuality. Where we can't communicate our pain, we're going to want to, seek those earthly delights to mute something else. And when we don't have those earthly pleasures of truly connecting with somebody else on a physical level, it throws us off how we communicate with the outside world. And it's balance. And that's the moon's job, is understanding that this is all balance. This is all balance. And there's no necessarily right or wrong when this is about our individuality, but when we're talking about, breaking the lid off of something and truly creating a release, because we have this concept that it's terrible to be naked in North America here, but guns and violence and blood and stuff is totally okay. You know what I mean? It's like something I look at in Europe, and it's like, okay, Europe's quite the opposite, where violence is not really accepted, but the naked body is very much accepted. So it's just like, so does it depend on where you live? It's like, this is pretty universal. These are universal human qualities, traits, needs, and desires. Okay, and to not be judgmental on those individuals that want to freely express themselves in doing so. This is conflict. This is conflict. We were taught this our entire lives, and now we're presented with a new alternative, a new approach, a new perspective on things. And just like that, speaking that, like, why in many religions is it one masculine God without a feminine? Does that make any sense in our lives? And if it doesn't make any sense, why do we believe the lie that somebody else is telling us? So this day, I don't feel like I have, when I look at the chart, something just to be like, this, my friends, here's a direction. This is like pulling the Band-Aid off, ripping the blindfold off, and seeing things for what they are, and determining for ourselves what we want to go and what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. And if I choose to believe in somebody else's life and somebody else's thing, and this is the other part with Mercury creating that septile here to Neptune, okay? We had Saturn and Jupiter creating that connection, and now we have Mercury, which is our mind, and coming into this boss, authoritative place, communicating what's necessary to communicate. The insight that's coming in is like that of the profession. You know what I mean? When we see, like if it was Aries, this would be like, in tarot, it would be let's say the Knight card, rushing in to save the day without truly understanding the depth and the process of what goes along in it. When we get up here, this is like the King, the King card, where it's like, okay, the King knows exactly how to do it, how to handle it. Okay, so now we have this insight coming in, we have this communication that we're able to communicate, and this is about our dreams. How do we want to align with our dreams? What do we need to do? What do we need to communicate? What insight do we need to decipher? Maybe this is it. Maybe this video is the insight that's needed to decipher between letting go of old past or old religious ideologies, old outdated concepts of humanity, or are we going in seeking this new truth? Whatever that could be. Maybe there's no answer yet. Maybe the question is still being formed. Maybe the answer is inside of you. And we have to have that self-discovery to get there. Lastly, this is the last thing we're talking about, Uranus, septile to Pluto. Okay, this has been going on. We've got Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. Okay, Uranus has been talking about this for a while. Uranus and Taurus is about money. This is about finances. We're getting rid of the dollar. Bitcoin is at $33,000. Ethereum just hit over $1,000. Okay, this is very real. I am not a financial whatever. I'm not. I can't tell you. Give you financial advice. As an astrologer, I'm saying that this is a very real movement that we're going into, and if it's not something on your radar, it should be. Okay, because this is a new world. And furthermore, we have Saturn and laws. Jupiter's saying I want more technology, less analog. Okay, less the physical stuff, more digital stuff. And Saturn says we need to make laws and rules for this. Okay, so we're going to see more laws, more rules coming up concerning this. And with this whole COVID thing going on, I was just tested about 20 minutes ago, and the vaccine is out. And the nurse practitioner told me that even if you get the vaccine, there's 2 different vaccines, that the first vaccine, you're only 50% covered until you get the second one. You can still be a carrier, and you can still get it, and you can still pass it to others after the first vaccination. So you have to get 2 different vaccines in order. To be 95%, but there's still that 5% chance. Okay, it's like, have you ever gotten, not whoever, but it's just like that. Whatever. I'm leaving it there. Okay, so we have new laws coming out, new technologies, new things being put into place, new things being implemented. Okay, cash used to be king, where now it's no longer a health thing. It's like you can probably find traces of cocaine and sweat and all kinds of stuff on dollar bills. Who knows where they have been, whose back pocket or G-string they've been in. Who knows? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So it's just like Saturn in Aquarius here is creating new laws where it's saying, no, we have to get rid of these parts. We're letting go. The Neptune squaring the nodes. We're letting go of money. We're letting go of these analog physical dollars. We're moving toward a new place in life. We're moving away from this old thoughts, old ideologies. We're looking at different aspects of life. We're looking at all of these pieces of the puzzle and then putting them as one. It's like the Viking pagan age and the Christianity age. It's like they both lived at the same time at one point. And it's like, I love the show Vikings, if you've ever watched it on History Channel. I think it's such a cool show. And it's just like this old gods and new gods, and it's just a war of the Vikings holding on to the old, and the Christians was the new. This was the age of Pisces. The Vikings had their ram's horn that they'd wear. They had the ram's horns they would drink out of, and an Odin, and and all of this stuff. And the old gods. It's like, and the Gregorian Christians still name the days of the week after the old gods, because the people that created all this understood they're one and the same. The only thing that the gods didn't change. The gods didn't change. The figures didn't change. The only thing that changed was the precession of the equinox, where the sun was at, understanding that the era that we're in has changed, okay? And now we're in a new era. And like we talked about one day last week, we don't know a single person in history that has lived through what we are currently living through. We don't know a single person in history who's documented going from the age of Aries into the age of Pisces, or from the age of Taurus, the Babylonians, into the age of Aries, Judaism and the paganism and things like this. We don't know it. This is completely new territory for humanity to be doing this. And we have to, everything is on the table as far as possibilities go. So we have to be able to look at all of these, as pieces of a puzzle to a bigger something, and try to discern for ourselves what makes the most sense for us in our lives. It's like if being free nudist colony works for you, then that's great. If being a nun clothed up and covered, if that's what works for you, so be it. Teach their own. There's no judgment. But it's just up to us to discern the difference and to ask those honest questions that's important for us during this time, because we don't get days like this that often, especially Neptune home in Pisces, where the expansion is immense. You know, it's limitless expansion. It's limitless amount of knowledge and spiritual insight coming into us if we're open to receive it. And if we say, no, this is the world, this is how things work. You know, it's just like we're closing ourselves off from possibilities that might blow our minds and change our perspective, make us smile, open our eyes, and open our hearts. You know, so that's our day, my friends. That's our day. Happy Wednesday. Happy Odin's Day to you. Let me know what's going on in your world. Let me, leave something. Is there something that you're leaving behind? I appreciate those things. Is there something you're leaving behind and moving toward? Is there something that you're uncertain about? If a philosophical knowledge or religious aspects or ideologies that have been ingrained in our brains that have been said, this is life. The sins of our father, and now that we're become older, these we no longer identify with those things, and we're trying to release them. If there's something going on, drop me a line. I would love to know, love to see, talk with you about it, and any way that we can here. My friends, have a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Mind opening, doing whatever you're doing. Love you. I wish you enough, and we'll see you tomorrow.